Tonight we will go deep into the realm of the unknown and question everything as we search for the truth. We will explore the possibility of countless phenomenon within the ultra spectrum, and together we will learn that it is all connected. This podcast is brought to you by the Experiencers Support Association, and it is a live stream broadcast. If you have a question, send me a super chat or become a YouTube member. This podcast is brought to you by the Experiencers Support Association. Take a seat, relax, get ready, and welcome to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat. Today is Thursday, June 9th, 2022, and I, Cece, am your host this evening. I am part of the Experiencer Support Association, and if you already don't know me, I am Tessa's Experiencers Anonymous coordinator, host, and part of the operations team. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for joining us this evening. We have a special episode for you today with a panel of guests, some games, and fun discussions to celebrate Ryan Stacey's birthday and show appreciation for all the work he does for experiencers. To super chat, click the $ next to your name in the comments. Tonight's theme is the Tinfoil Hat Party, Ryan's birthday episode. Our guests for season 4, episode 19 are Alex Mistretta. He is a professional cryptozoologist and leading voice in the Macalamambe, Chipkwe, and Anedi tiger research in African cryptozoology. He is an expert in Bigfoots, especially in the Eurasian Almastis and Yetis. His knowledge and experience extend to South America's Mono Grande and Mongolia's deathworm, among many others. A veteran of radio shows and television programs, and aficionado of skiing and bodyboarding, lover of superhero, horror, sword, sorcery, and ninja movies. He's an explorer, writer, researcher, incredibly superb individual, lovingly dubbed the International Man of Mystery within Tessa. Thank you for joining, Alex. Welcome to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I mean, I wasn't going to miss Ryan's birthday, so happy to be here.
Oh, thanks for joining. And we might have some more guests tonight, but for now, we have Ryan Stacey, a licensed private investigator and founder of the Experiencer Support Association. He leads the Field Investigations Unit and Iridu, and does investigations within Tessa and so much more. He is the host of Beyond the Tinfoil Hat, Uncharted Case Files, and Citizens Paranormal. The latter two you can find if you become a member of this channel. Ryan has a passion for paranormal investigations, and he's created Tessa to help regulate and structure paranormal data and evidence collection to offer the best possible information pertaining to the phenomenon. Ryan is also the creator of the Ultra Spectrum classification system to bridge the gap between UFO and paranormal, and offers a way to classify and study these phenomena in an interconnected way. Welcome, Ryan, and happy birthday. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
You should put your camera on.
I had mine off because you had yours off. Why is yours off?
I can't put it on. That was the technical difficulties, and I was going to explain it, but
Okay, well, get ready for this. Are you ready?
Sure.
Check this out.
Nice. See, okay, mine works for a brief moment, and then it kicks me out, but I'm wearing mine too. I can assure you, see? I made it this morning. Oh, Monsieur. It worked for a moment.
Oh, I see it. Look at that. Where's your... I got a tinfoil hat. Look at that.
Well, that's going to be your advantage in the game round that we're about to partake in, because you get a bonus point. You get a starter point if you wore a tinfoil hat.
All
Good
right.
show.
And thanks for that. Thanks for putting this together. I mean, I'm totally like just going this for the ride. Thanks, Alex, for being here. It's good to see you.
Yeah,
Mr.
absolutely,
Happy. No.
Yeah, so I kind of, just so you're aware, Ryan, I kind of made it so it was a casual thing that people can drop in whenever they want. And I was thinking we would have this game session with the panel, and then maybe do a questions round after.
Did you want me to share that link like we talked about?
Yeah, in a bit, not yet.
Okay, you tell me when.
All right. So, you made me lose my spot with all that. Thanks, though.
Sorry.
So yeah, thanks for joining in, and thank you for sporting your hat, Ryan. And it's unfortunate people can't see mine, so it's throwing me off. But we're gonna start off tonight's show with some games. Like, are you guys in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah,
yes,
everyone has. You got your point, Ryan, for having the tinfoil hat. All this is about is just having fun and maybe some bragging rights.
Okay.
Beforehand, I did roll the dice and kind of like made an order of who would answer first. And Alex, you were the first one. So you're going to go first, and then Ryan's going to go last. So yeah, let's get into it. Share that screen, Ryan, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I have a problem with what you titled it.
Why?
It said roast session. Like
yeah, it's like a comical roast.
Yeah,
so if you don't know what that is.
Oh, I know what it is. Let's get
But I want to preface this with, it's just, you have three, like, okay, go into it. Go to the next slide. I'll explain the game. Okay. It's your best one-liner. It's not go off on a nice little rant about somebody. It's a one-liner. It has to be funny. You have to make the audience laugh, and you have to earn their vote. So the audience is going to vote for who does the best one-liner roast for whoever shows up. There's 10 rounds.
Okay.
You get 3 opportunities to say pass. So if there's somebody that you're like, I can't roast them if I ever wanted to in my life, you can opt to pass. But that's taking away from your points. So you can get 10 points in this round.
Okay.
I hope the audience is willing to do that. Is everyone willing to help vote for who does the best one-liner?
I think so. They're pretty chatty.
So yes, in the comments, this is going to be the most engaging Beyond the Tinfoil Hat ever. I need your help, audience. So if you go to the next slide, because this is super 1990s. I've got Bob Lazar here. So do you think you could roast Bob Lazar, Alex? Oh. One-liner, what would you say? It could be a little paragraph. We'll allow a poem.
One-liner.
Awesome. Audience, make sure you pay attention to what he says. On the spot.
I'm Bob Lazar. I like to peek into rooms. You have to know the history. You kind of have to know the history to know that one, though. But
yeah, I like to look into rooms that I shouldn't be looking into. Yeah, I wander into places I shouldn't be, and I don't know.
All right.
I see things that aren't really there.
Okay. So everyone in the audience, say Ryan or Alex and put your vote in now. If I can maybe find like a 30-second ticker or something like that, that'd be fun.
We can rally it up. Do you want me to hit next?
Sure, yeah. Hit next. So we got Daryl Sims here, aka UFO Hunter. If you don't know him, he's good fun.
Good fun.
Daryl's a friend of mine. So, wow.
You could use a pass.
I'm Daryl Sim.
Everyone's saying Alex won last round.
Good for Alex.
So are you passing on Daryl Sim?
I'm Daryl Sims. I'm Daryl Sim. It's for you guys, like today's a big day, right? It's Ryan's birthday, Christmas Day, everybody knows what Christmas is. There's the New Year's. But for me, it's Tuesday because I just stabbed an alien this morning.
Okay. Ryan?
I don't know this guy very well to be able to roast him. So I mean, all I can do is judge from this photo. Be like,
you don't know who Alien Hunter is?
Well, I mean, like I don't know him well enough to roast him. It's like, this is bad. I don't giddy up. I don't know. Like, I'm not good at this stuff. There's my fun liner. Giddy up. we got aliens to catch. Giddy up.
Alien Hunter. I think Alex won that. I'm gonna just call it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I think
give
Alex
Alex.
good. Next one, yeah. David Wilcock.
So I go first.
Yes.
So hi, my name is David Wilcox, and well, one thing, my girlfriend's a porn star, and I have implants for shoulders.
Oh.
Dude, I swear, I was having dinner with it. No, really, seriously, I was having dinner with Jimmy Church and this guy. And I swear, he comes up, second time I met him, and all of a sudden his shoulders are like 3 times as big. There's no way I was from working out. Dude's got implants. I'm telling you, it's not. There's no shoulders are not natural, not body.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right, next. Ryan, you're next.
I thought this was David Spade at first.
Oh yeah, it kind of does look like him.
So I don't. I don't know. I don't.
You want to pass?
Yeah, I guess.
I know this isn't in your comfort zone, Ryan. I'm pushing you a little outside.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I just I pass.
Okay.
Because I don't know people well enough. I don't follow these people well enough.
So
like
Alex
I've already
wins by default.
Yeah, he wins by default. But Alex
you
knows the dirt.
You don't need to follow Wilcox, trust me.
Yeah, well, I don't. I watched enough to be like, okay, pass.
Yeah.
But apparently, people like Alex are still dramatically affected by it.
I will never forget that evening, let me tell you.
Oh my God.
And then the internet search on his girlfriend is not what I was expecting, but whatever.
People
I don't
gotta
judge.
be loved. People gotta be loved.
All right, next one. There's only 10 rounds. Please bear with us, people.
Oh.
I have something to say to this guy right now. Your internet can't hold my StreamYard thing, and you're ruining everything.
Elon Musk. Alex,
Go
what
ahead,
do you got
Alex.
for Elon?
Hey man, nothing but respect. The guy gave what was it, like 500 million or to Amber Heard? So respect, bro. I wish I was this guy.
I missed that. I don't even watch the news stuff, and I don't even know what you're talking about. He gave $5 million to Amber Heard?
Or 500, I don't know, something, or 500,000. I don't even know, to help her out with her trial with Johnny Depp. I don't really follow the trial, but
Okay.
I'm looking forward to Aquaman. Amber Heard's really pretty, so I believe her.
Well, the jury decided
It so does he.
I don't know what I would say other than, thanks for helping America. You're fucking Canadian. Why didn't you help us first?
How about giving us some funding? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We did a good we can do.
Well, you're fine. He's yours. But thanks for helping another country. But, why not?
I don't know if either of you qualified as roasting at all. That was...
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what that
well,
was.
we gotta hate these people, Okay.
No, you don't. It's all about good fun. You
George
could just,
Ness.
even if you don't know them, do like you did with Alien Hunter, make fun of the photo.
Yeah, I will. Like, what do you meme? There's a game like that.
Yes, exactly. Maybe I
Oh,
should
Karen
have
said I
taken
won
that.
that one. I won that one. According to Karen.
So
Thank you,
George
Karen.
Knapp is the next one, okay? And like I love these people. I'm not putting up people I hate. Just FYI.
I love that I'm second. Thank you, Cece.
You're welcome. You were last.
Yeah, it's hard. It's always a little bit easier to play off somebody. Yeah.
I don't have anything that I would pick for George Knapp really either. I can't think of it except for like, take me to Skinwalker, please.
Yeah. I mean, hi, I'm George Knapp. I promised Alex Mistrella and Steve Murillo the key to Skinwalker to get in, and we have to stand outside like a bunch of little morons for 4 days. Thanks, George.
Okay, Ryan, can you
story.
beat that? That's the bad part about being second. Can you beat his one-liner?
I don't know. I don't know. Hi, I'm George Knapp, and my best friend's Jeremy Corbell, and together we only report what each other likes, and that's it.
Oh my
Nothing.
God. You were headed in a good direction and failed. That's how I see that. You could have been like, hello, I'm George Knapp, and my best friend is Jeremy Corbell, and we merged together 2 in 1 to create some great.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
No. I like the guy, you know?
I know.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this guy. Well, you said roast session, so it kind of prepped it for
I know. I should have maybe did a what's a meme or whatever, but yeah, you're right. Pivoting.
No, this is fun. This is fun. This is good. It's just we're on the spot.
It's meant to jar you a little bit. It gets easier, I promise. Next one, if you want. See, that's why I gave you 3 passes. There's just so many, but
yeah,
I got one for this one, so I'm
going to pass on Linda. I like Linda. I met Linda.
Yeah, I want to say, Linda, where ye been lately?
Yeah, answer my emails, yo. I got some e-bends in Canada. There's bodies in Canada that you might be interested in.
Oh yeah, that came to me. I was like, it's kind of a Newfie accent kind of joke thing. Okay, Alex, it was your turn first. So what do you got?
Hi. Okay, for the record again, I like her. I like her a lot, but hi, I'm Linda.
You can use your.
And I will never let I will never let Christopher O'Brien in the conference talk about cattle mutilations because they're mine.
That was good.
Okay.
Oh my God, audience, who do you think? Ryan, what do you?
Oh, Alex,
did you want to pass on her?
I did pass, so Alex won on that one.
I didn't hear it. Sorry.
You saved this one for me. Eh? Go ahead. Go ahead, Alex.
Elizondo. Oh. Hi. I'm Elizondo. I am UFO Twitter. I am UFO Twitter. That's all I got. I got nothing.
I am UFO.
Hi, I'm Lou Elizondo, and I created UFO Twitter, and it was a great thing, and I loved it, and so many people had my attention, and then I slipped, and so many people started paying attention, then the heat got hot, and I cowered, and I left, and now I'm just, waiting till the dust settles so I can release my book, and hopefully everyone will still buy it.
Okay.
There's my Lou.
I think Alex won that. I don't know. What does the audience say? Everyone telling. Put your votes in now. 30 seconds.
I might not be playing the rules already. I don't know. I'm passing on Richard. I like Richard.
Okay, Ryan passes on Richard. What about you, Alex?
I like Richard too, but I'm like I don't have enough problems with animosity with people already. But anyway, hi, I'm Richard Dolan. I've met Alex Mistrella like 4 fucking times, and I forget his name every time I see him. Every time. I've had dinner with the guy. We walked around Hollywood with him and Jimmy Church. Next time I saw him, wait, who are you again? You're a historian, man, a historian. Memory. That's all I got.
I can relate to that. Yeah, I can relate to that.
No, honestly though, all seriousness, I think he's one of the better guys in this field though. I think he's a really good dude. But he does forget my name every time.
All right. Let's do next. I'm not even taking points anymore. This is hard to do. Nobody's helping me out. So I'm going to say Alex won that last round too.
Oh, Priscilla's here. Hi, Sil. Thanks for joining the chat.
See,
all right, Stephen Greer.
Alex, you win. All right, Stephen Greer. What y'all think, Alex?
Hi, I'm Stephen Greer. I'm really good looking. I got big muscle of a really, really tight shirt. And I'm the king of taking in the desert. And I'm the king of the autokinetic response in your eye.
I knew, with a group of Americans, I was kind of concerned. This is good, though. You're nailing it, Alex. Ryan, that's tough truth to fill. Do you think you can roast Stephen Greer?
Wow.
One-liner.
One-liner. Thank you for all your money. Because a lot of people, I don't know, man. I'm not a roaster. I'm trying to make friends with all these people here. But it's a one-liner, so I can't explain myself. So that was my one-liner.
All right, this is the last one, I believe.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
Tom DeLonge.
I'm not even gonna make a one-liner. I'm just gonna say something to him. I'm wanting to say to him for years. Bro, thank you for doing UFO and UFO Field, because I don't want to hear any more of your B-152 songs ever again. So you've done us a huge favor.
It's Blink.
Thank you.
By the way.
Yeah, Blink. Yeah, whatever.
82.
But yeah.
Treasure is Blink 182 is a treasure.
Hi, my name's Tom DeLonge, and I have voices inside my yad.
Yeah, you win that one, Ryan. That was good.
Yeah.
See, it wasn't.
You have to know this. You have to know, Tom.
It wasn't supposed to be mean. It was supposed to be witty. All right.
That's the end?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's one after that.
No, it says end. Okay.
Okay, this next one I'm worried about because this was all supposed to be on PowerPoint. I went retro here. I dressed retro too, and y'all.
I was. You know what I thought you were gonna do with the roast? I thought you were gonna have a picture of myself and Ryan.
Yeah, I thought we were roasting each other. It was just like, shit. Oh shit.
No, it was meant to bring everyone in that group together and laugh.
Okay, let's do that. One liner. Alex, roast me right now.
I can roast myself easily too.
My name is Alex Mistretta, and I am the happiest man on earth. I always smile in the face of danger.
Yeah, it's like, hi, I'm Alex Mistretta. I won't shut the fuck up about evolution.
Oh, you're supposed to roast me.
I was roasting myself. Oh. Hi, I'm Ryan Stacey. I'm Canadian. I'm the UFO Mountie. And I'm here to save you on a horse. I'm here to save ufology on my horse.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my God. All right. Thank you.
Great.
Am I supposed to bring up another slide or anything?
Yeah, I sent it to you in an email, but I'm really concerned about this game. We might have to ditch it, unfortunately, but we'll see.
Well, we kind of made our own rules.
Yeah, we clearly don't follow directions anyway.
I don't see.
It's from admin.
No, I know. I only saw the one slide.
Oh, let me check. It should be there.
Shake it good.
Oh, it is.
Look, I'm method though. I got ghost water bottle and everything.
Cool.
I am so method.
I thought you said meth.
No, meth, no.
Disclaimer. I'm drinking gin.
Are you?
So I'm having a hoot right now. It's my birthday.
Good. Celebrate it. What the heck
Well,
is...
it's technically tomorrow, but this is the show.
Oh my goodness. My computer is somebody's sabotaging this. All right, we're going to skip that game.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to just tell you the next one. The next one is cryptid or myth.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, we don't have the visuals to go along with this, so maybe it's worth... I'm going to try and pull them up for you, Ryan, but maybe you can just Google them for me if you want, if you're able.
Yeah, I can share my screen. Excuse me. And then
Okay, so since we have Alex here, thank you for joining us. I thought we could do, is this a cryptid or is this something that you believe is a myth? And this is just opinion. This is actually a round that has 0 point value. And I just want the audience to, say what they think about it too. It's just fun, engaging discussion, okay?
okay.
So the first one is Bigfoot and Sasquatch. And Alex, again, just you are first. We'll keep with that order, okay?
Well, cryptid.
Cryptid or myth?
Cryptid.
I would have to say cryptid too. I don't think it's a myth, but it might be paracryptid.
Yeah, so Alex, why don't you give us a definition of paracryptid?
Yeah, so paracryptid or paracryptozoology, which I'm pretty sure I was the first one to kind of come up with it, but it's essentially for cryptids that don't make sense biologically. Cryptids that you can't compare to other animals in a fossil record, or something like, for example, Dogman, right? Where technically speaking, because of the shape of the foot and ankle and all that, it'd be physiological impossibility for Dogman to exist. Or Mothman, right? Because the wing to size ratio that animal wouldn't be able to fly, right? So something else paranormal, there's some kind of paranormal modalities associated with it. Versus a typical thing like Bigfoot or Mokere Membe, where it resembles something in a fossil record, or we can compare it to an extinct animal or an animal that exists today somewhere else.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so you both automatically went cryptid, but is there any nuance to that at all? We were asked in our last episode of Beyond the Tinfoil Hat if Bigfoot might be interdimensional.
I don't think so at all, but here's the one thing I think everybody gets confused is saying something exhibits paranormal modalities is very different than saying something originated through paranormal means, right? Mm-hmm. Look at humans, right? We have humans that have psychic ability or whatever, or maybe even alien connection or whatever, right? But we still know from genetics and the fossil record that we were born in Africa 300,000 years ago, right? So it's not mutually exclusive, but I think we have to differentiate between, again, paranormal modalities versus a paranormal origin. And I think Bigfoot, for sure, originated, here, on planet Earth as a primate, just like us and and the apes.
I've been curious, I'm just going to go into this a little bit more, but what would be your rationale for why we evolved so differently than Bigfoot then?
Well, there isn't, though, because evolution doesn't work that way. It's just, it's what that organism needs at that particular time, so, but mostly have to do with environment, I think, between us. I think originally, let's say, now it all depends whether Bigfoot is more closely related to apes or to humans, right? But let's say, for example, it's mostly related to humans, so it's a hominid. There would be a point where we differentiated, where we lived right in Africa in a dry environment in the savannah, where having hair on us would be disadvantageous, right? Because it would be too hot. So we lost our hair and all that, and we became, as we are today, a little bit thinner, skinner, so we could survive that heat in that environment. This is Bigfoot, theoretically, let's say, it's split with Paranthropus, which was a hominid species that looked just like Bigfoot, but just a little bit smaller. If you lived in a wooded environment, you'd have no reason to lose your hair, and then if you migrated further north, you'd naturally, as most species, you would get bigger and stronger, And so, you know, like environmental pressure would be what would differentiate between us and Bigfoot ultimately, you know?
Yeah, okay.
The point,
Thanks.
here's the thing though. Bigfoot can 100% be explained biologically through, you know, hominid evolution. Doesn't mean it's necessarily 100% true, right?
Yeah.
It can be, and that's, you know, that's just the angle that I take because I have an anthropology degree and I can take that angle. But I'm well aware that it's very possible there's other forces along the way. But, you know, my whole point is that it can be explained that way.
It's challenging because like some people report paranormal abilities associated with the sighting, right? So like just they see a UFO and then they see a Bigfoot, two different things possibly, but then the assumption is that the Bigfoot had exited or traveled with said craft, but you can't find evidence of either or, and then they put these things together. So I think Bigfoot would, as far as all the other, I wouldn't consider him a monster. I always say paracryptids are monsters. That's the best way for me to describe it. I mean, I think, yeah, there's more humanistic traits to that, or origin, anthropologic, whatever.
The thing too is that, I think the thing too, you have to take a global perspective, right? Because Bigfoot is so similar to Yetis, Almas or Almastis in Mongolia, and, you know, in Central Asia, and then some of the African stuff I'm working on at the moment. So you kind of have to assume there's a connection there somewhere. And if you look at all those other cryptids from, you know, even the Yowie in Australia, or all of those, there's no paranormal attributes associated with them. You know, there's mythological attributes like Native Americans have mythological attributes to Bigfoot, but they also have with the wolf, you know. But around the world, there's actually no bona fide paranormal attributes to these Bigfoot-like species, and they're so similar. You have to assume some kind of connection, you know. So why is it in the United States only, and Canada to a certain extent, maybe even, you know, Central America, do you get these association with UFOs and paranormal events, you know? So I'm willing to say something else is going on, but, you know, I think from an origin standpoint, I still think because of what goes on worldwide, that there has to be a very, very human, or I mean, very earthly, you know, origin.
Well, it's also not being properly investigated. Like, I mean, it could very well be a helicopter, not a like this, assuming it's an extraterrestrial craft as well as Bigfoot in the same area.
Yeah.
Right? So it could very well just been an ape or monkey or whatever, depending on, you would know because where they, you know, geographically, which you're very good at figuring out whether or not the species originates from those places. And it could just be like a blimp or something. So all these things need to be investigated properly. But when we get these reports, it's mashed because there's that belief. Yeah. Because there's not enough evidence to confirm. So it is not normal. So therefore, I think the problem is associating that ghost phenomenon to it as well. So I would say if Bigfoot were to be associated with any of the otherworldly things, I would closely connect it with the ET than I would with paranormal and ghosts and psychic and all that other stuff, which is closer to human.
Mm-hmm.
On that, one thing I sort of think at times though that they have they're able to emit ultrasounds, like tigers, for example, you know, and I think in some of those responses people have that they can't explain, I think can be attributed to ultrasounds, like you have in certain huntings as well, right? In certain locations, I emit natural ultrasounds. People feel like, you know, there's a presence around, or, you know, they have this intense feeling of fear, and they can't function, and, you know, and I think that, you know, an animal that could, you know, emit ultrasounds could have that effect, and that could be thought of as paranormal, where, you know, in real life, it's like it's an evolutionary adaptation, probably something that maybe we were able to do a long, long time ago that we lost.
Right. Cece, I got your email.
Awesome. So I love that you guys expanded on that and shared, and I hope that we're gonna do that each round. Like the answer, myth or cryptid, is probably gonna come at you pretty quick. You're gonna just answer, but yeah, feel free to expand on it and share with the audience what's going on in your brain. And everyone, so the next need to join in because, like I said, it's going to be quick. Myth or cryptid, the unicorn.
Okay, hold on here. Bringing up your slides. The unicorn? Is that what you said?
Yeah. And Alex is first.
Myth.
Okay, go to 2 slides down. There you go, your unicorn.
You say it's a myth, so it's not possible for horses to have horns like a rhino and things like that, even though we have,
I mean, the unicorn as a horse with a horn is biologically impossible. I think it's based on real animals, like for example, like the Siberian unicorn, right, which was a real animal, but it wasn't a horse. I think it was a hoofed animal, but anyway.
You got was it the narwhal too that has the horn? Like there's
narwhal has a horn,
Yeah. So that's a weird one. That there was a nail in that argument, Alex.
Well, I mean, I'm not an anthropologist. I don't know species, so I'm just drawing logic from other animals have the ability to have a single horn, so it's possible. But then again,
Ryan, wait, did you say what you thought it was? Did you say if it was a myth or are you still on the
definitely
fence?
it would fit in it wouldn't fit in cryptid by definition. So I would agree with myth, right? Yeah, but it still could exist. Right,
okay.
Mythological creatures could still exist. That's what we're investigating, right? These myths, right? What is the origin from, too, right? So, Dogman.
That's my boyfriend. He says unicorns are the real deal.
Thanks for tuning in. Hello. What does that say?
I think it's possible that unicorns are more like ethereal and symbolic in a way, and they're not. And actually, Karen Holton says it's symbolic. Absolutely. I think that there's meaning behind it. It's not necessarily a cryptid, but yeah, threw you off a bit. Next one's Dogman. So everyone who doesn't know Dogman, Alex, do you want to give a little bit of background on Dogman?
Yeah, essentially think of Dogman as Bigfoot, but as a canine, as a dog werewolf type creature, but otherwise a lot of the same attributes as Bigfoot, found in the same areas as Bigfoot, except it looks more like a dog and has a tail, like with some reports. So
yeah, and I always ask you, what's the difference between Dogman and werewolf?
Dogman doesn't have all that European mythology associated with it, but essentially it sort of looks the same way, except it's not. Oh yeah, I mean the big difference is where the werewolf from a mythological standpoint, it's a man that turns or a woman that turns into a werewolf.
Yeah, and so
originally werewolves were originally werewolves were actually on all four. They're just big wolves with no tail. In fact, that was one of the attributes of being a werewolf, is you're missing a tail and you're a huge wolf. They were actually standing up like in Hollywood. So that was actually a Hollywood invention. So Dogman in a way is a more Hollywood werewolf than a real werewolf, which is weird.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you for that little factoid. So myth or cryptid?
Well, cryptid, because I keep getting reports of these. So
where are people seeing these, like roughly in the U.S.?
Yeah, there's a lot of different areas, but the area I think is the better areas would be Kentucky, upper Michigan, and Alberta, Canada.
Interesting. Alberta, Canada.
So like, is it so for me? Yeah, it could be myth or cryptid. It could be either or. It's kind of in between depending on the characteristics. So it's like I would just say, I'd say myth in the terms of the relation closely related to a werewolf, and the werewolf, could very well be like, just people being mad and full of rage. We really don't know, where the origin of that comes from. But is it possible that people seeing Dogman and werewolf and Bigfoot are maybe seeing the same species because neither one of them have been captured to identify?
Yeah, personally, I think there's a couple different possibilities from that standpoint. I think if you look at some of upper Michigan is pretty big, but some of those areas perhaps aren't quite as big as, let's say, British Columbia, right? Or it's more heavily populated like Kentucky. So I think for a species to remain undetected, it would have to have a small number. And when you have small numbers, you have the bottleneck effect because you have to mate within a smaller gene pool, and that creates certain mutations, right? So Dogman could very well be related to Bigfoot. It's just that because of that bottleneck effect, it starts having strange attributes and maybe looks more dog-like, than regular Bigfoot. I know it's highly speculative, but that's what, if you only have 5 species, 5 males, 5 females left, and, in like a 20-mile radius or whatever, some could be related, right? So it's basically like incest.
And again, sorry to interrupt you, Alex, but again, you're saying like basically Dogman's a process of evolution of a species.
Could be. I think it could be like a Bigfoot mutation, or people are mistakenly attributing it to werewolves because werewolves are so popular, in pop culture. So, and it reminds them of that. Or the other thing, sometimes I think that, so we're having a lot of mutations now, or a lot of new canine species, like the chupacabra up in Texas, which is really just a dog with, which is really which a dog, or the coy wolf, which is a hybrid between coyotes and wolves. So a lot of these canines are interbreeding these days because of environmental changes and encroachments of, by people and stuff. And I've noticed a lot of these sightings of the Dogman where people said animals upright. It's only when they're seeing it that it's upright, right? It rises up and it's kind of looking at them. People freak out and leave and whatever. It's not actually running after them.
Okay.
Upright. So I started thinking that
we got to zip through this a little bit quicker. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Alex.
Sorry.
Looking at this image too, they notice that he's on the knuckles as well. So like, isn't that like an ape characteristic as well, to walk on their knuckles?
Yeah,
walking there, it would be, but
yeah. Like it's a drawing. That's a rendering of a drawing somebody did.
Okay, well,
Mothman.
Oh boy.
Well, paracryptid. Am I cheating?
Yeah, and you gave that description. I agree. Ryan?
Yeah. No, I would agree. Paracryptid monster, kind of like that. It's either a human with wings or winged, big giant winged creature.
All right, next one.
Yeah.
Loch Ness monster.
Cryptid, 100%.
Yeah, I'd say cryptid. A lot of people do a lot of research in that, and we don't know half of this, like 10% of what's in the ocean. A lot of it's undiscovered.
Yeah. And then the final one, mermaid, siren. Would you divide the two? Or are they one and the same? And is it a myth or a cryptid? 3-parter.
I'd say one of the same, and I would say it's a myth as people think of them. I'm going to say the popular mermaid siren is a myth.
Okay.
So elaborate. What's the truth then? What are they really?
Well, I mean, I'm not against the idea of something kind of alien related or UFO related because, there's been some, a number of stories in UFO heavy areas, like in Central Asia, once again, in some of the lakes, about people encountering something that does kind of look like a merman or some kind of underwater creature that's humanoid, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of those stories floating around, that unverified, obviously, but so I'm not against the idea that something else is out here on this planet that looks like a mermaid or siren, or essentially, a humanoid form that can live or breathe underwater. But I don't think it's a traditional mermaid or siren as people, see it, through mythology or, or through Disney or whatever,
Yeah, not like a beautiful woman with a nice tail and flowing hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would imagine if it was real, it was like really horror, or like really ugly and really like scary and terrifying. I don't know.
And it could be
there's some horror movies about it for sure. I think that image came from one because I was kind of like, hard.
Well, wasn't there this weird video that surfaced around, Alex? So like a mermaid had touched the ground underwater or something like that, touched some sub or something. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm not sure. I know there was one, but it turns out to be a hoax.
Oh, okay.
But something that's interesting though, we have in humans we have this thing called a mammalian reflex system, which is something freedivers use. Actually, I'm doing a freediving attempt in August, so I know a little bit about it. And it's a vestigial trait back to where we share common ancestors with with other mammals like sea mammals. So humans kind of have this ability to do what dolphins and whales do. Like freedivers can stay underwater for 20 minutes, right, in a pool, stationary, usually, maybe 5 minutes max in the ocean. So that ability to do something like dolphins and whales do, if you could see that evolve, if there's an offshoot of humans, you could see that evolve, at least theoretically. and maybe we can have, a lost species somewhere that could, function and at least breathe on the water for a certain amount of time,
Right.
Obviously highly speculative.
Oh, look who it is.
Well, hello.
Oh, hello.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, man. You're late,
Yeah.
but you're
Hey,
here.
John, I had an amazing introduction for you. Would you like me to do it?
Hey, don't let me stop the party.
The party just got started.
Yeah, I was putting the kid to bed. Sorry, I was a little late there.
It's all good. Like I said, it was casual whenever you could join. Thank you for coming. I
Wouldn't
see
miss
you
his
didn't
birthday
sport
for
a
anything.
tinfoil hat, John, so you don't get points for the game round for that.
Oh, well, these things are aluminum. Does that count? I mean,
I didn't even know there was a
Okay.
contest. I just assumed by the title.
oh.
All right, so John, you just joined us for Cryptid or Myth. We're literally at our last cryptid. This is the jackalope. Are you aware of the jackalope?
Yeah, of course, I'm aware of the jackalope.
All right, well, since you just joined in, we're going to let you answer last. Alex
Okay.
is first, and then Ryan, and then you.
Perfect.
Alex, what do you think?
Myth.
Myth?
Yep.
And you want to elaborate at all?
No, well, yeah, I mean, it's physiologically impossible for a rabbit or these kind of animals. I'm not an expert in that part, but to develop those kind of those horns. So it's a myth.
What if a baby deer mated with a baby rabbit? Is it possible?
They could try, but it would be relatively impossible for an offspring to survive that kind of union.
Yeah, well.
Too many different chromosomes, right, to match.
Well, I can't argue. You're the scientist. I'll say myth.
I'm gonna say probably real.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I just remembered Jacques Vallée said recently in one of his lectures where back in the 70s they genetically modified a ram, I think it was, in California somewhere to grow a single horn. So it was like a unicorn. So it was like a ram or a goat or something like that, but it had one single horn, right? That was really long, and it was unicorn like shaped, and it was because they messed with the genetics. And I swear he said it was back in the 70s, and they took it around to all these fairs and all these things, and it was an oddity. And I think it was along the lines of well, if you've seen one real unicorn, then that means they're real or something along those lines. So it could have been some kind of genetic malnormality, that happened and created one of these things, and somebody saw it. Maybe their ears, double ears protruded, but hell, why not? Who knows?
Yeah, I want to ask Alex a question since he brought up that
Yeah.
it's like physically impossible. When I was a child, I shit you not, I saw something that was half cat, half rabbit. Like it had hind legs of a rabbit and the front end of a cat. It leapt, it was weird, and I called it a cabbit. And I was told by it that wouldn't be possible.
Well, I mean, like under in nature, it's impossible. But yeah, obviously, as I'm sorry, I don't even know who the gentleman is that just came in. I apologize.
There is one more. Sorry, guys. Yeah, the Dover Demon.
Demons.
Today, though, with splicing, you can give any animal any attributes you want. So today, anything's possible from from a genetic standpoint. So
that would have been like early 2000s or late 90s or something.
There was some kind of talk about a lot of the crime. The crime. I can't remember the name of the term. That was like half man, half animal. That a lot of that mythology was actually the results of advanced genetic manipulation. So something like the centaurs and all those things were actually maybe an advanced civilization or somebody else that was able to manipulate DNA or like you said, gene splicing, so that those things that we actually witnessed in mythology may have possibly existed at one point in history. But then you would think you'd find some kind of evidence of that in some kind of bones or carcasses or whatever, right? Of a man, with a horse legs. But
we're probably talking small. Yeah, we're probably talking about small numbers then. It's not like they've let them out loose in nature and they've been reproducing and evolving since then. If we're talking a handful of creatures that were, genetically modified, it'd be it'd be unlikely for us to find the bones, or we'd have to really get lucky.
Right. But the myth would live on, right? Of these creatures. It would
Oh,
be
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could definitely explain a lot of these. A lot of these. Yeah.
Well, there's also cover-ups. They could have just be keeping it from us.
Like the giants, the Smithsonian's destroying all the bones of giants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
possible.
rabbit hole thickens, guys. Do you want to move on to the Dover demon?
The Dover demon. I don't know anything about that.
Alex, did you want to maybe say something about the Dover demon? Are you able
Yeah.
to?
Well, the thing with it's not in either category though, because it was a one-time sighting, of this one kind of alien-looking thing called the Dover demon in Dover. People were driving by, so it's really hard to say what they saw. I think they saw something real, but I wouldn't say it's a cryptid because it's not a species, right? There's not multiple that people are seeing. And it's not myth because I really think people did see something. So here we're dealing something a little more in the UFO realm, I think, or the paranormal realm. So
yeah, it does have those extraterrestrial characteristics, and then you got those big red eyes, like you would have shadow figure too. So like it could have been a mixture of thoughts when they're trying to do their sketch of what they imagine it to be, and I don't know, could have been headlights in a car too. Depending on what they see.
On the other hand, though, the big eyes that reflect, the light this way, it's indicative of a species that would live underground, for example, in deep cave systems. So I don't know what kind of cave system is in that area. I've never really looked into it. So then theoretically, sure, you could have some kind of species that does look like that lives underground. But, obviously, kind of like the Kentucky goblins, right? I don't know if you got to heard those stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's so I'm not against that being real from that standpoint, but I don't know if it fits into either cryptid or myth category. Then it's something a little different.
Yeah, it's not as easy, and I knew that it's not as easy as that. It's just a fancy name, but
I would say myth, because cryptid means like it's of this realm. So if we suspect it being part of another realm, it has to be a myth.
I don't think it would be from another realm. I don't know. Who knows where it lives? What if it lives in like cave dwellings?
Well, that's where you get the reptilians. The reptilians underground. Like it depends on what other associated myths you want to layer on top of it.
Also, the terminology people use. We kind of get hung up on the words people use, reptilian or demon or whatever. It doesn't necessarily reflect what they're really seeing. It's what just comes to their mind initially. Mothman, right? Obviously, is a good example. It obviously has nothing to do with a moth. But so it's just sometimes I think we get caught up on, or hung up, on those terms, and it gives a false narrative in terms of what people are seeing or what these animal species, cryptids, paranormal, creatures, whatever it may be. So we have to keep that in mind, I think.
Making this slideshow, I realize that exactly about cryptids mostly is like you can't just categorize them as one or the other. There's nuance within that area of study.
John,
okay, so Ryan, I'm gonna go to commercial break. I think that's what we're doing next. This is the end of the slide, right?
Yeah, but I was asking John what he thought.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh well, I don't know. There's a. I was trying to think of when, if ever, there was ever a cryptid that has been found. As far as, hey, we thought this was a thing, we thought it was a myth, but then we actually found one. You know what I mean? I don't know. That would have to be like a scientific answer to lend some credibility to the whole thing, because, for the longest time. There have been instances where we thought that some type of species was extinct, but then they were found again, like in the wild and I'm trying to come up with some of them right now. So people still keep saying they see the Tasmanian tiger, which is one of the ones that they thought it was coming back, but there's different types of bugs, little bugs and fish and things like that they thought were extinct. I think the ocean probably has a lot more of those that happen. I think they're always catching things that they thought were extinct in the deep part of the ocean. So, I think it lends a little credence to the whole thing, especially the cave system, like you said. You mentioned the cave system. That's massive. We don't even any idea, and we've only explored like not even a quarter of the ocean. So there could be these things everywhere. And if, like we were saying before, if they are these genetically modified things from long ago, or if they just are that rare and nobody's seen them or seen one or two, then hell, all of these could be real.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for that. Sorry, I forgot that you were part of the live stream. You joined in late and I just went to bypass you, so my apologies for that.
Because you didn't give me the intro you wrote. You took 2 weeks to write
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And you didn't even get to give it. After we come back from the commercial, you can give it, I guess.
Okay.
But it's Ryan's party. I'm just hanging out, so don't let me ask you.
Thanks
I'm not
for
making
coming.
the rules.
That's all good, man. Thanks for the rules. Do you want me to hit the button? Do I do that, or do you want to do it? You want to do it? Can you do it?
I should be able to do it. Yeah, so I just wanted to say, so the next game, if we're going to continue playing games, maybe before we go to commercial, I'll ask you guys, do you want to continue playing games? Because there's still a few.
Hey, it's Ryan's party. I think you should decide.
A questions and answers thing.
Yeah, games are fun.
Okay. All right, so we'll continue with the games. Ryan, try and queue up that Bitcoin one. It may not work with your setup since we have different operating systems, and if not, we'll have to... It won't work if the way it is. I'll try and adapt. Okay. So we will pause right here and we'll continue for a message after continue after a message from our sponsors. If you are listening to the audio only version, I feel really bad for you because everything is visual and I am sorry. If you want to head over to our YouTube, go to Experiencer Support Association / or on YouTube and find our videos there, and you'll see the live video that goes with this recording. You are listening to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat, the Experiencer Support Association. We'll be right back.
It's your business. It's your property. Your assets are worth protecting. Blacklight Investigative and Surveillance Services specializes in patrolling and inspecting residential or commercial property against fire, theft, vandalism, terrorism, and illegal activity. People and buildings are monitored to prevent crime. Keep your property, your people, and your assets safe from threat. Our elite staff are dual licensed private investigators and security guards. Blacklight Investigative and Surveillance Services. Go to blacklightiss.com.
The same thing that draws aliens to our planet is the same thing that draws us to others. Exploration, curiosity, sustainability of life. That's why we go. It would make sense as to why they're visiting here.
Travis! Quit playing around, man. Get back here. Travis!
The last thing I remember was this numbing shock. Stunning sort of a feeling. Very powerful.
Get away from me!
I was just out of my mind with fear, just screaming the whole time.
It's been theorized that aliens prefer remote areas because they don't want to attract attention. Whatever it is that they're doing, they would want to do that in a less populated area. There are multiple accounts of the same thing from people from all over the world. People that do not know each other, do not live in the same cultures, and they're all looking up, they're all seeing things in the sky. So it would be naive of us to think that we're
Ryan is one of Canada's leading new UFO investigators. He conducts and oversees UFO investigations on a constant basis and was really taken by his research. He's compiled a tremendous amount of data regarding UFOs in Canada. And just as interesting, he really goes over how UFO investigations are done and what are some of the mistakes that people make when they submit evidence. Note for starters, don't edit your videos or photos before you send them. If you want to hear more follow-up conversation between Ryan and myself, you can go to richardolanmembers.com, where we have a candid conversation on ufology, the paranormal, and more. And remember, while we learn and grow and search for the truth, let's be good to each other.
Welcome to the Observation Deck, a state-of-the-art, one-of-a-kind virtual platform that takes video conferencing to the next level by using avatars to navigate a campus, just like you would in real life. First, you install the application and design your very own unique avatar. Then you're free to explore the various areas of the campus at any time from anywhere. There's so many areas and activities to choose from on the platform. There's a 1,000-seat auditorium, a large expo hall, a movie theater, a nightclub, an art gallery, and even a beach. Come attend a conference or take a class or hear a lecture. Meet new friends and interact directly with presenters. It's all right here on the incredible Observation Deck campus. Where in the world will you go?
Have you ever wondered, or maybe just thought to yourself, if there were others just like you? You know, people with extraordinary abilities, psychogenic advancement, and perhaps unique intuitions. Maybe you just wondered if there were other people who experienced unimaginable, unexplained, or even unusual and paranormal events. Are there people who have more questions, more fears than answers? Well, you're not alone. You've never been alone. We believe you. Sign up for EA today by going to tesacan.org/EA. That's TESACAN.org/EA.
Hey everybody, how was that? Welcome back. You are listening to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat. If you have ever experienced unexplained events involving the paranormal, UFO, extraterrestrials, Dogman, or any other paracryptid, you're going to have to come check us out. And we're going to announce our new website after this show. Ryan Stacey is going to walk us through it, so he'll be showing everyone how to enter a report in the reporting system and all the new updates. So stick around for that. Thank you for joining in. Ryan, did you want to bring up that next game?
Well, I think we should introduce Johnny.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, John. I keep forgetting that. I need to.
You wrote it. I don't know.
Well, I stole it. How about that? I adjusted it a bit.
That counts.
Okay, I said John Najarowski. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. Happy birthday, Ryan.
I'm going to go for it. Here we go. John Mayjorowski is working information security by day and searches for the truth by night. John Mayjorowski, via phenomenology, ufology, and hermetic mysteries, studies the connection between consciousness and UFOs. John is a third-degree Mason, Master Mason, 32nd Scottish Rite Freemason, AASR, 4th grade Rosicrucian, Capitular Masonry, Royal Archmasons, Cryptid Masonry, and Royal and Select Masons, member of Zenobia Shrine. He is also the podcast host of UFOs on the Level, and you can find his link to his podcast in the description below.
That's awesome. Thank you, Cece.
Did you say you're 7th grade now? So did you say?
Yes. I guys in the 7th grade.
Oh, see, that's what I was going to ask you actually.
I have to update that. That was interesting. The big leap from 4 to 7 was massive. That was.
Is Alex looking for Bigfoot? Are you on the road for Bigfoot?
Yeah, he's on the road right now. He's driving. I don't know how much you'll be able to participate, Alex, in the Bitcoin game, but I'm going to hopefully be able to describe it really good for you, okay? So that you don't have to do dangerous driving.
Oh, well, I'm not the one driving, so, but...
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, that's
okay. Never know.
All right. I thought about joining the chat from the hot tub, but I figured that would be rude.
All right, so the formatting on this may or may not work, but the idea of this game is basically, we all know The Price is Right. Who doesn't? It's been around forever. But we're going to try and guess what the prices of certain items might be in Bitcoin. So if you go to the next slide, I've got the current value of Bitcoin. Here we go. Guess the Bitcoin value closest to the true value without going over wins the round. Live audience, please guess, like join in. Put in your best guess to what you think it is. Hopefully this works. Fingers crossed. So here's the Bitcoin value right now for USD. This is all American. So Ryan, you're going to be way out of your box, but that's how the Price is Right is. So I figured you'd adapt, and we can do it. You can do it.
Okay, so
the current Bitcoin prices, that's US dollars, 30,000.
Yes, it's at US dollars. It's at $30,401.70. For the sake of this exercise, I use this calculator, but I rounded things up, so it's not going to be any decimals.
That's fine. That's fine. I should buy more. Okay.
Okay.
All right, you got that, guys? So, see, it's not going to work.
Why is it not going to work?
Yeah, all the answers are there. There's all animation in it.
Yeah, it's 11 Bitcoin. Okay, I got you.
Well, you just have to take 335 divided by 30, and then you got your number.
Yeah, you weren't going to know the retail price or any of that shit until after.
So the animation didn't work. That was going to come in at the second. I got your animation messed up.
Yeah, so I don't know. It wouldn't allow me to share on mine. So this game's a bust, unfortunately.
Nah, just you could read it without showing us the slide. So what's the next one? Say, hey, how much is the price?
Okay, yeah,
whatever.
if you guys are willing to do that, but then you'll have to imagine the items, I suppose.
That's fine. We can imagine it. Yeah.
All right. So, Ryan, are you gonna take that down?
Yeah. Okay. You don't want the slide on?
No.
Okay.
We're gonna skip the Lambo. It's off the market now.
Okay.
Okay. So the next one is a realty property in Beverly Hills described as a luxury home. This home has 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 2 are partial baths. The interior is 8,997 square feet, and the exterior has land of 7.5 acres. How much do you think that costs, and how much Bitcoin do you think that is?
That's 50 Bitcoin.
Alex is the first to answer.
I'm gonna have to pass. I'm gonna have to pass on this. I'm gonna have to pass on this game. I don't understand Bitcoin. I don't even know what it is, honestly.
Okay. Firstly, I didn't offer any passes on that. That was only the first game.
Yeah, I'm lost. I have no idea.
All right. How much do you think the house is worth?
In Beverly Hills like that? That's like a $10 million house.
How many million?
10 million.
All right, so you can't guess how many Bitcoin that would be. The Bitcoin's like 30,000 roughly. What would be your best guesstimate?
Wait, $1, 30,000 bit.
Yeah, no, 30,000 USD is 1 Bitcoin.
So wait, $1, 30,000 Bitcoin?
No, $30,000 is 1 Bitcoin.
Oh,
yes, 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin is worth $30,000. A little over that.
You're gonna give me 5 minutes to do math in my head. I can't do math.
All right,
there's no way.
I'm gonna say 50 Bitcoin. 50 Bitcoin.
You're gonna say 50 Bitcoin, Ryan?
That's a lot of dough. I don't know if it was at $10 million, then that would be.
You guys are overthinking it so much.
That would be
it's over 10 million. That's over
Bitcoin.
7 acres in Beverly Hills, and you got an 800,000 or 8,000 square foot house. That's.
I'll say 4 Bitcoin.
4 Bitcoin for Ryan. What are you saying, Alex? How many Bitcoin?
I don't know, 100 Bitcoin?
100 Bitcoin. All right, so Ryan wins that round because he didn't go over. The actual retail price is $32.5 million for that home, and it is.
That's nowhere close.
Oh wait, you guys all didn't go over. I'm wrong. It's 11. I'm sorry, I misread it. It's 1,168 Bitcoin for that property. So technically,
yeah, I'm with Alex. I don't understand Bitcoin at all.
I don't even know what it is, to be really honestly. I just heard the term, but I know absolutely nothing. I mean, I don't even know. I thought it didn't even exist anymore.
Oh, they exist. It's expanding.
Still, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you guys want to go on to the next round, or do you want to drop this game?
I would vote for not.
Yeah, what's the next game? What's the next game?
All right, you can bring up the next game, Ryan.
Did you send me another one? I think that's
it's in the email.
Hold on.
Sorry, I apologize if I completely screwed that up for you guys.
No, it's fine. I wasn't sure how if anybody would know Bitcoin, if they would know it.
What's the color test? Is that the next one?
Yeah.
Color test. All right.
Yeah.
John, you missed a good one at the beginning. The one at the beginning was roast.
Yeah,
you roast, Joe. We had to roast all these people, including your boy Bob Lazar in the back of your fridge there. Yeah, it was good.
Bob? Oh, jeez. What about Bob?
We just had to give one-liners. Is that what we think about Bob?
Mystical.
Viability color test. Ooh.
Why not? I figured by this point, everyone's vibing, everyone's feeling each other's energies, getting it all. So, do you have a sixth sense? Maybe you can read my mind. Maybe you can use third sight. Audience, I hope you'll join in on this one too. It's just a really little fun thing. But I'm going to show a slide. It's going to have two colors on it. And you basically have to choose which color you think I have in my hand right now. And then I will display it on the screen. Now my camera's working again.
Yes. I'm good at this.
You're good at this, John?
Do I hit next?
Yeah, hit next. All right. So, audience and everyone here, yellow or pink. And that is not pink. I don't know what the hell happened.
That is
not pink. You said yellow before you even saw the slide.
Yeah, I know. I did. Because I saw it before the slide even showed up. It's yellow.
Yellow.
What's everyone saying?
I'm saying yellow.
Alex?
Yeah. I was going to go yellow too. So.
Oh. Yeah, it's yellow.
See, I told you I'm good at this one. I'm good at this one. It's because of the app. It's the app that Russell Targ made. Have you guys seen the app?
Good job. All right. If you guys want to write it in the chat, see, these colors are messed up. It's supposed to be purple or green.
Green.
I'll say green. Yeah, green.
Okay, so I don't know if this is some kind of sabotage, but yeah, it's green.
All right. So listen, I'll tell everybody how to do this before the next one goes. All right. So what's going to happen is there's going to be two colors on the screen, right? And you're going to see it, and she's going to announce it or whatever, right? But the first color that you look at, and the first color that resonates with you, like no matter what it is, you're going to see one color, and in this case right here, you see purple or green. And say you look at the green, you're like, but maybe it's purple. And then you're like, maybe I'll go for purple. But like, no, that's wrong. The first gestalt, the first thing you have that's always the answer. The first thing that comes up. Don't second guess it ever. So the first thing you have, that's what it is. The next one's going to be red. But that's just me guessing. Go ahead.
All right.
If red's on the next slide, I'm going with it. No.
Dark blue. Dark blue.
I'm going with light blue this time. I'm going with light blue.
Light blue.
Light blue?
Light blue.
Yeah.
Light blue.
Well, I lost one. See?
Was that light?
It was light blue.
It was light blue, yeah.
Lost all my power explaining it. Gave it away.
Maybe.
Holy fuck. This is a hoot. Thanks, CC. This is great. All right. There's your red.
There it is.
The colors are working now.
It's red.
Yeah. I'll say red. Yeah.
Alex?
Black. I'm going to go with black.
Oh.
Black. Alex, you're doing pretty good. All right,
Purple.
This is our final color.
Purple.
Purple or orange?
Purple.
John? Oh.
Purple.
Purple.
Everyone's saying purple? It's
purple.
Good job, guys. There's one more slide here. Ryan, did you want to talk about that?
Are we there yet? Are we doing the website now?
No.
Oh, I thought we keep doing colors.
Save that
not
for
that
later.
The website's not accessible.
Okay, well then we'll skip that slide.
All right, so that's the end of the games, guys. We could go back and modify roast, but or what did I call it? Roast session, but no. I think we'll go on to the Q&A session if you're all right with that.
Yeah, you're the lead. I'm just here.
So like Russell Targ made an app called ESP Trainer. It's for iPhone, iOS, right? ESP Trainer app. It's the same deal. You get 4 colors, right? And you pick one, and if you get it right, you get a picture, and it dings and it makes a sound, right?
Neat.
And so it's positive reinforcement. So then you keep going when you get them right, and it's a positive reinforcement, and you get it right, and you go to the next one. Like I'm just keep getting them right now, see? And it's just I'm getting them before I'm putting them up, right? It's just going to come up, and I can feel it's probably that one. It's not that one, so I got that one wrong. Oh, it's not that one. I've never done it backwards on the camera before, but so I messed that up too, right?
I would be playing with that so much.
Yeah, and so Buddy Bolton and he kind of introduced me to it, and he told me to so it's like, you hit it like the whatever. I'm not paying attention right now, but like most of the time you get it. If you get one, it'll do a ding, and then it has your progress, and it's out of 24 trials, and you can pass if you. There it goes. That's what it's like when you get a right one and you get a picture. So they created this for NASA, and they use this at NASA, believe it or not, for Viability training. And it actually really, really works. We use this all the time. But here's the trick. You got to end on a high note. You got to, like, if you just fail the whole time and you're just hitting buttons all the time and you lose, you're like, fuck it. And you just don't want to play anymore. You got to stop. You got to, like, end on a really positive note, and that'll, help you out for the next time. But definitely do that. It's really, really awesome, and it's helped me amazingly just from just doing that little thing. So
cool, man.
ESP Trainer app. Everybody should do it. It's free. It's on iOS.
Yeah, so I wanted to open up the chat to everybody in the audience to ask questions. And if they wanted to ask a question of the panel, to put a super chat. But more or less, I've kind of been doing the CC icebreaker for a while now. So I thought I would just ask a bunch of icebreaker questions for you guys and see what you guys think about them.
All right.
So
I'm gonna have to leave because I'm sorry, I have to leave. I'm out of juice.
Oh no! All right, Alex. Thanks so much
for coming in, man.
Yeah, happy birthday, man. I'm sorry I gotta leave early, but
it's okay. Thanks for being here.
Hope you have a great day tomorrow, bro. All right.
Thanks, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye, Alex.
Bye.
All right. So I have here, in your opinion, what would it take for the world, so being like all of humanity, to believe in another intelligent life form visiting Earth?
Sorry.
Did you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to see like what would it take for humanity to believe there's another life form on Earth?
No, another intelligent life form visiting Earth, like ETs visiting us.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I was listening to your answer. I was
yellow. I think that's what it is.
What would it take?
It doesn't like I've said this in a bunch of my interviews and a bunch of my talks. Like I have a buddy a great friend of mine, awesome dude. But if a craft landed in his backyard and something came out, walked up to him and said, "Hey, man, I'm from wherever. Nice to meet you," and shook his hand, and it got back in the thing and left, he'd be like, "Yep, that didn't happen." Like some people are so set into like not believing anything other than what they're told, what they're taught, that I don't think there's anything that would like shake people to make them believe, other than some miraculous shit that probably ties into the religious dogma. Yeah. That would back, that's been going through our history, like raising people from the dead or communicating with your deceased loved ones or something like that. That's the only thing that I can think of that would like probably bring that correlation together. Other people would be happy to see a ball in the sky and be like, yeah, there's aliens. But most
it's got to be the same thing. Everyone's going to see the same thing and have the same explanation and then accept that. So, I mean, it's got to be right in their face, something they can't, disbelieve. So, like a spaceship that just materializes and starts like blowing shit up because no one can
You
stop.
think violence is the answer? Like,
well, we got no warning. It's like this is happening. We got to panic. We got to do this. This is real. There's no time to be like, because you're under attack. Live fire. I think that's the only way.
I don't know. I tend to lean towards John's thinking, like it's hard to convince people who don't want to see, right? But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like how many people that don't believe that any of the Abrahamic religions are real? I mean, just look at all the atheists on the planet, right? Look at all those people that are like, yeah, that didn't happen. But like those experiences that those people had, they documented, and now there's actual faiths and religion and institutions behind those things, right? Same thing for UFOs. I mean, if that happened, you'd have a whole UFO religion overnight. You'd have a bunch of other people going, yeah, that's bullshit. Why do they get tax breaks? That would be it. That would seriously be it. It would be there's not going to, I mean, no matter what happens, there's never going to be a consensus for everybody on the planet. And I think that's a good thing. Because I don't think everybody should be, lemmings. So good for them and whatever.
Okay. All right, here's one for you both. If money were no issue at all, where would you like to travel in the world? Not off worlds. Where would you like to travel to investigate a paranormal or UFO situation?
Ooh. I'd go to Ryan's house.
My house. What makes you think I got all this stuff here?
It's in that cabinet behind you, dude.
Yeah. All the secrets and mysteries. Hidden mysteries of what is it? Hidden mysteries of nature and science.
I don't know, man. I don't know. My buddy Jay just went to Egypt. He said that was really rad, and there was some real weird energy, and do a pyramid tour and stuff like that. That'd be kind of fun to go check that out, or Machu Picchu, or.
But that seems like the go-to. Like I mean, it's been marketed well. We know that those things are like where everybody would go because they're weird and they're strange, and we want to know because all these wonders of the world.
Go to Marley Woods then. Nobody goes there. Nobody knows where it's at.
I don't know. I go up north to the center of the earth to see what's.
Oh, see if there's a hole.
See if there's a hole, or I go to Antarctica and see if there's a wall.
There you go.
Yeah, so you want to go to Antarctica?
Yeah, that would be cool. Except for it's cold.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I just need to. Or I go up to space and see if we make it out.
Yeah, that's why I actually didn't even have it written down, but I was like, no, you have to stay on Earth. Like, where would you go?
Well, can I stay in Earth's orbit? I have questions, I need.
What about the Marianas Trench?
That's like deep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, James Cameron went down there. His ship broke. His multi-million-dollar ship broke. And then he won't talk about what he saw down there. Took a film crew, all that stuff, never came out. Won't talk about it.
Because he was probably talked to, probably.
What's that? Oh, yeah. Probably like, yeah, you can't talk about that. Yeah.
But then he does, what does he do next? Avatar, and
yeah.
You never know, Never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
All right. Have you ever received information in a fortune-telling session that ended up coming true?
Sometimes. But aren't fortune cookies like little things of wisdom where you just believe in it so that way it happens after the fact?
All right, I wasn't talking about fortune cookies. I didn't even consider that as an option. I was thinking more
like a psychic or a medium or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody approached you.
I might be hungry.
Kind of premonition shit. Yeah, sorry. I didn't clarify that enough.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Mm. And Ryan, you haven't had enough woo in your life?
No. I've seen enough going on and no.
I think you may have, and he doesn't even know.
It could be.
All right, next question. Is time travel real? And why do you think it is or isn't?
Which direction?
Time is maybe not a directional thing at all.
You travel forward in time or you travel back in time.
Time is not linear, by the way, man. So, yes.
Every now moment, can you access it?
Yes.
Yes? Why do you think that, John?
Because if gravity displacement is possible, then so is time displacement, because gravity is a component of time. Therefore, I think that might be one of the biggest things they don't want to reveal, is that if we have mastered gravity, in a sense, we've also mastered time. So how do you explain that to anybody? Oh, yeah, we can time travel.
Yeah, because then what would they do with it? And choice, who chooses to do that? Then they have the option to change, all those Marvel movies. Bad.
The butterfly effect.
Or right. Barry Allen in The Flash screwing everything up.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, think about that. If that's the big deal, that if you've mastered gravity, you've also mastered time. And at that point, how do you explain that? Hey, we have UFOs. Oh, and we can travel in time.
Yeah, I think time travel is possible. I do. I have a hard time comprehending how the data is stored, meaning it's already happened, so that way we can, revisit or see it. I'm not really a physics guy, so that's probably why I don't get it.
Yeah, but once you go down that rabbit hole.
To rationalize it and make it and to simplify it. I don't know. John could tell the future because you saw the colors. You knew the colors. No psiability. You just need to think a few seconds ahead in time to see the color before she revealed it. So maybe he's not seeing the color. He's seeing it in the future.
Viewed and seen what I was holding.
Yeah.
Or remembered something that it already had seen in
exactly
the future.
Deja vu and things like that. There's all these markers of things that suggest that things have been happening. But for us to physically travel in time, do you need a machine, or can we do that mentally? How do we do it?
Okay, yeah. So when people say time travel, automatically you think machine. Mm-hmm. But I left it open because consciousness is a component of it for sure. Yeah. And so if somebody wanted to lean in that direction, they could. Technically, you could consider memories.
Time machines, yeah.
Time traveling. All right, on that topic then, do you believe in the Mandela effect, and would you consider time travel a reasonable, probable and factor for it? Describing it.
It's one factor. I mean, it could be. It could be. I don't know. I've heard from people that there's 3 timelines and they were divergent, and at one point, so there's 3 different timelines, right? Because of something that we created or messed up or whatever, or had access to. And that they crossed, or they're joining at some point, that at some point they're all going to converge into one. And no matter the outcome, the outcome's always the outcome. No matter what, you can always just get a little bit ahead or a little bit behind. But that might account for some of the irregularities. But hell, I don't
know. Ryan, what do you think of the Mandela effect?
I mean,
you know what it is?
Well, that's like when something happens that didn't already happen, right? Something changed in time. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah. So there's a group of people who remember something being a certain way,
but in fact, in reality, it never happened. So
in our reality now, it's not that way.
Like the Berenstain Bears versus the Berenstain Bears, or Sinbad versus Kazam, like those type of things. Yeah.
Yep.
So
it's just weird because a lot of those, I'm like, I remember.
I remember that. I do remember that. Or do I not remember that? It's hard to be in those moments too. So if that's cause and effect, like the butterfly effect. Someone has traveled back in time, changed something, and therefore everything moving forward. And then there's that glitch and the Matrix, as we say, which I think is the deja vu moment, where it's like, I've been here before. So that's the moment in which everything was reset, and then you got back up. Now you're starting to remember, and then you're taking the next path, the new path. At that moment, you have that deja vu is when but who's rewinding the clock, and is it a clock that's rewound for the entire world or just for us? Like, can we go back in time as an individual, or do we have to do it on a whole? Like, how Superman go around the world and you change the whole world. I know it's just movies. I do a lot of movie references, but I mean, none of those are scientifically proven as fact.
They're helpful.
That's where it all comes from. Those ideas. Is the whole world.
Well, I kind of like the timeline approach for like that John was saying to answer that that question too, because like if it would explain some of the Mandela effect, because some people are remembering a different timeline, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just minor variations, but it's this, as they converge, maybe it's going to change, who knows? But it's fun to think about, isn't it? Brain teaser. Ryan's going to bust all the brain cells he has on that one.
It's the hat.
It's keeping it in.
All right. So, audience members, if you guys have any questions, like, feel free to chime in. I'm just gonna ask them some vulnerable stuff soon. If we
vulnerable stuff.
If we don't get any questions here. All right, guys. What do you think of the validity of chemtrails and that whole theory? Do you think it's manipulating our weather systems?
Ooh. Those are hard to trust. Like, there's legitimate reasons for them to be up there and spraying. The question is whether or not they're spraying what they say they're spraying.
I don't know. I think they're real, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Are they really doing quantification, or are they spraying stuff to kill us or control us or protect us, or I don't know. I know that every country does it. I think China, I read something about 10 or 15 years ago that China, not even China, the U.S. said that we were going to own the weather by 2030.
So they were going to own the weather?
Own the weather. We can do whatever we want to by 2030.
No, I never heard of that.
What are they doing?
I don't know. Sounds
it's not
good, though.
that far away.
Yeah.
Interesting 2030, though, because that's kind of where we're all lining up our climate change, proposals globally, too, around that time frame.
Oh.
All right. Well, next question. Here we go. Here's a little vulnerability. Did either of you have what you would consider a defining moment that made you decide to invest your time and energy into paranormal research? And are you willing to share it?
Yeah, Ryan.
I'm your reason? I'm your reason?
You're my reason. No. Yeah. No, I've told my story a billion times. Did you have one?
Well, did you tell your story here a billion times?
Oh, okay, I will. All right.
I didn't know that you told that story a billion times, but
okay.
Yeah, maybe sum it up.
So I saw ghosts as a kid. I didn't know what they were. Got scared, whatever. Started watching movies about, Ghostbusters, things like that. Figured out they were ghosts or whatever I saw in my mind. Freaked out. Didn't like it. Got told by a lady who was an author, hey, you can make it go away by just telling it to screw off. And you don't want to believe in them, but okay, cool. Dad saw UFOs when he was younger. Multiple people, multiple witnesses, multiple times. Always believed it was real. Grew up believing it was real. My wife and I were driving over the river near our house. A whole bunch of orange orbs, middle of an ice storm coming over the river. No way you can, that wasn't Chinese lanterns. It was whatever else. And then my daughter, who was 2 at the time, lay down on the deck and said, "Daddy, look." Never did that before in her life. Looked up, and there's a big white orb over our house. Stayed there for 2 hours, and there was another one to the south. One in the north, one in the south. Got all the neighbors. Everybody was out there with binoculars looking at it, and then they just went and disappeared. It was after that I was like, screw it. it's happening. And then 2017, it was around the same time. The New York Times came out, and I was like, they're not going to come up in a van and haul me away if I start talking about it. So that's when I started getting on, creating my podcast. Met Ryan, met you. That was real fast, but
thank you for sharing that again.
I got it out.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's defining for sure. Brian, I don't know if your answer will have any woo factor to it at all, but it would be cool if it did.
Well, I've always had an interest. I never really had any like defining moments that made me believe that it was one thing or another. I've always been curious, always been understanding, and I've always been trying to learn. And by learning, none of these things make sense. So the apart from the Tessa map, that's kind of a weird ass, thing that happened to me in terms of, the images and how, that's psychic ability, I suppose, is how that would work. But
or a download, right? You could
or a download, yeah.
Right?
But the question is whether or not it's coming, where it's coming from, where's the source, right? Is it divine? Is it government? Is it remote viewing? Is it maybe it was John?
Yeah.
Who knows?
So would you admit that download put you on this path? And that's
what put me on the consciousness path. So there's many paths. So my dad had a UFO experience. My Uncle Brad and my uncle Rick, they all had UFO experiences. I grew up listening to those stories. Never seen any UFOs myself. My mom always interested in the paranormal side of things. My wife's interested in paranormal as well. As kind of how we got talking. I introduced her to UFOs, and then that kind of expanded off to all these other things too. But as far as paranormal for me, there was a time when I could have on a ship. So there's this Keewatin here in Port Manical. So we were doing a ghost tour investigation or whatever, trying to figure out what the stories were. But there was this particular part in the investigation where they wanted to use the spirit box. So they turn the box on and make these noises and communicate and do all these other things. Well, I'm trying to record and capture everything. So it's I have all the evidence, and I distinctly remember that the shelf had this lip, right? So this would be, it's kind of a bad example, but anyways, I would rest the camera on the shelf, kind of on an angle down, so that way you could still see us going up. And then, because if the boat was ported, but if it had rocked, which it wasn't moving at all, the theory was that the camera would just settle behind the lip. Does that make sense? So the way I dropped it. So in the middle of all that, something happened through that seance session that allowed the camera somehow to kind of hop over the lip, go face first into the ground, crash, and destroy itself. And I lost all the video. So for me, in that haunted setting, in that ghost story, kind of in that, trying to learn, trying to be curious about it, because, what the fuck just happened there, to me, that was a real moment. But now if I go forward, as I understand consciousness and psychic abilities, it's quite possible that, we might have moved that object back then, not knowing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these things that I've experienced has to do with psychic abilities, but not knowing they were psychic. Hence why I've created this system to study and understand the connection through consciousness, to find people that have the ability to do those things, so we can, bend spoons, maybe. Who knows?
Make
You
it
could
to
do more
the
than
world.
that, man.
Yeah.
How about some negative healing?
Yeah.
John, do you have time for one more question?
Yes, I got one more question. I gotta go. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. All right, so this one's, again, a little vulnerable, but how would you describe yourself as a 16-year-old, and what advice would you give to yourself at that age?
Horny. I think I was horny. Oh, wait a minute. What advice?
Honest, and to the point. I'd have to agree.
All right, maybe 16's too young.
Yeah. What's changed? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. What would I buy? Invest in Bitcoin. It didn't exist yet. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty cool as a 16-year-old. I don't know. I would think that maybe just realize that there's more to life than we can even imagine around us all the time, and to look for the little things and to do things. Even the smallest thing can have a ripple and affect the entire world. And I think that being more kind, being more helpful, being more generous would be what advice I'd give to myself when I was 16.
Good advice to Teen John. I like it.
And make sure you always wear a condom. I mean, I did, but still, I was just preloading it so it comes back. Yes, reiterate. No glove, no love. Do you remember that from the 90s? You gotta remember that? Maybe I'm old.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I do.
Remember Left
Ryan,
Eye?
how would you describe yourself at that age other than horny? And what advice would you give?
Well, for me at that age, that's kind of like a dark age in the sense of stuff I had to deal with over the years. So I would give myself a pep talk and say, you're going to make it. And, everything's going to be okay. And aliens are real.
That's rad, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, for me too. It was kind of like I've always been a bit of a bookworm, and I'm a Leo, and I moved around a lot, like almost all the time. I was very shy in high school. And I wish that I just stepped outside of my box a little bit more and allowed myself to be social and embrace that side of me more.
More horny is what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
You set it up. It was like a T-ball.
Yeah.
Sorry,
go to the parties, have fun and enjoy life, right?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying. It's all right. You can do that now. It's fine.
Oh, good.
Well, thanks so much, John, for joining, and thanks, Alex, who I know he'll watch the replay. Thanks for coming too, and thanks so much for the audience for participating. We're gonna go through our new website, and Ryan Stacey's gonna show that. So,
hey, Ryan Stacey, happy birthday!
Thanks, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Cece, for being so awesome, and you guys all rock. And I'm sorry I gotta go, but I love you all. Thank you so much.
All right, man. We'll keep up. We'll catch up. Thanks.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, buddy. See ya. Bye-bye. All right. So do you want to do it in the after chat, or?
I'm not going to play the after chat thing, but do you want me to? We can.
No, we don't have to. We can keep going. You guys.
I figured we'd go straight to the website launch.
All right, and then we'll just close the show off and skip the after chat because you got a big drive ahead of you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You sure do. All right. So
that's what you got when you looked up Bigfoot, was that character?
The Hendersons? Is it Meet the Hendersons? Remember that?
I think so. I don't remember the name of that movie, but I remember the movie.
The Hendersons? Yeah, Meet the Hendersons. Yeah. Meet the Hendersons.
Yes.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as you know, our original website was www.tessacan.org. It's been tessacan.org forever. It's even down here below, down there. It says tessacan.org. If you still use tessacan.org, it will redirect you to the new website. But so some of you guys might have already seen it already. But we're going to work on some marketing after the Butter Tart Festival, which is this weekend, and we'll let everybody know officially what the new website is. But the new URL is actually called experiencersupport.org. So it's pretty obvious. Experiencersupport.org. And if you hit enter, it doesn't work. No, there it is. So this is the new website right here. So on the home page, not obviously nice colors and all these other things too here. We have our articles that are going to pop up here. We have our latest videos pop up here. a new visual evidence database, which I will show you, a new timeline, our Tessa's Most Wanted videos, which is our recreation videos. So let me see if I can play one right here. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
So these videos here are meant to create awareness of these are cases that have been investigated, and we're using our new classification system there too. So we also have links to the expo, which we're working on. It's in development. Experiencers Anonymous, we've changed the format to that. So we will be announcing that soon. And then the Ultra Spectrum Library. You want to tell people what that is? Because that was your idea. What is this?
Yeah, so we put the Ultra Spectrum Library, which is going to be a place where people can go and find resources, books that have been reviewed and looked at of nonfiction related to the phenomenon, and resources that are helpful for people. So there's going to be free resources there, or it'll direct you to a paid version from the author. But that's going to be a location for authors to essentially sell their books and do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a good description?
Yeah, no, it's exactly what it is. Then the new reporting system, which we'll show you here, you click submit a report right there, and then some information about our store. Our store is also in development too behind the scenes, but we'll release that soon. And then, of course, we list our affiliates and newsletter and sign up. So this is the home page. This is what it looks like on the home page. But now, when you go here and you go about us, the team, Tessa map, there's a whole bunch of things that you can click on that's going to explain things. Some people question my credentials and things like that. It's all here and links for you guys to follow and discover for yourselves. You know, I mean, work for it. You know, I'm not just going to give it to you, but it's out there. The team. So we have a list of people on the team and how to connect to that. We're still adding more people to that once we've worked some things out. So that's also there. And then we have a page for the map on its own. So we're going to be adding some individual things that happen with this map to this page. I haven't figured it out yet, but it's on its own. So it hasn't gone away, but still here with a little bit of an explanation that CC helped write on what may have happened. Who knows? And shout out to CC because she helped me on the front end with the design and with writing all the text that you guys see to explain all these things. She did a really good job helping me with that. And I've been working on the back end for investigations. So on the investigations page, we're going to have the data sets. They're working on those, getting those up soon. In the academy, but let me just show you here points of interest. So this page here, when I upload documents, it's automatically going to populate and it's going to show you guys all these people that are involved in these declassified documents. So if you're a researcher and all these other things, you know, all the work is done for you. In a sense, you just need to click on this link to see what's available, and you see an association as to why these things are mentioned in these documents. So this is a running total of categories. Now, the Visual Evidence Database. This is the new one. Similar to the one I got, but a little bit more detail. I've added some plots. There's new cases in here. You click on these, it will show you, a little bit of what's going on in that area. You click this, you'll learn more. You'll get the video that corresponds to that case. You'll get a witness statement, and you'll get to see the original evidence, who investigated it, and details that are specific to the case. And then you start to get these categories. So you can see how we're using the classification system, and you can learn how it's done. And as an investigator, you can look at this, you get the video, you get the gist of it. If you want to debunk it, you got the witness statement, you got all the details here. Tell me what it is, and solve it for me, right? All the details you need are right there, and it also protects the witness. So if this is one of your cases, of course, reach out to us and let us know if there's any other, if we did a good job redacting everything, if there's something particular you want us to change, let us know. But so with that, also we have a timeline. So every single case that gets entered into the database is now on the timeline as well. So it's important to see these things develop in time. And I got these little markers here, so it's from Canada, and these little beings observed, all these other things, so you can quickly scan through. And you just go down, load more, and you can start to see the pattern. 1952, Defense Research Board has a meeting on flying saucers, and then they interrogate on flying saucers. And then in 1967, someone in England saw a UFO. Well, what is that? Click on it. Boom. There you go. So every single case that we've investigated that we don't understand will be put here. And then the onus is on you guys to tell me what it is. If you tell me what it is, then I'll take it down. But until someone can take the information that's already here and tell me otherwise, these are considered to be unidentified based on the categories, right? Very awesome. Thanks, Space Cadet. Awesome. So if you use this neat little feature down here, aerial activity, light, sensory display, ultraspectrum, paranormal report, these are all designed for research purposes too, even the ID number of the experiencer. So the experiencer gets a code number, and then we also put where the location is. So if you only want to study aerial activity, you just click the aerial activity tag, and you're going to see everything that's categorized aerial activity. And the neat thing about this feature is you can quickly scan and see what's common and what they look like. So that way you can see, okay, like for an example, there's 3 orbs here, there's 3 orbs there, there's these orb shapes here, there's these orb things here. Now you start to visually see this pattern. That's why it's a visual evidence database, so you can see the patterns. And when you see the patterns, you can start to understand a little bit more of how this is connected. So there's talking about it, there's showing it, and all these other things, but it also helps me when I'm on the road doing investigations, so I can quickly pull out my phone and be like, hey, is there something nearby? All these other things. I remember this was a case that I had before, so I'm basically showing my work to all you guys. A, because it helps me with my work, and B, it keeps you naysayers at bay, gives you a little bit to let you know that I know what I'm talking about. And it also gives you guys an example on how I'm measuring the data to maybe you guys could conform and try and assist and add your cases to this as well. Let me see here. So if we go into the visual evidence database, again, we go back, you can also toggle these markers. So if you are only interested in beings, you can uncheck aerial activity and declassified events, residual evidence, and visitation. And it's only going to show you just the beings. Sorry, I'll take the residual off there. Yeah, so if you're only interested in beings observed, that's all that it'll show. So you can totally customize this depending on what activity it is that you're looking to learn about. If we go to declassified documents, I'll show you as an example here. Oh. So I know there's a declassified document up here in Ottawa. I have two, one here, and you can also change the map features too. If I zoom out here. So you can change the map to terrain if you want. You can go to satellite if you want, map view. You can change it if it's easier on the eyes. And then you can do your investigation. So these markers are close to where the events took place. They're not exact to protect the identity and location of the experiencers. Sometimes the places are in their houses and things like that too. So we just move the markers a little bit. So this particular one, declassified document, you click on that document. And then you'll actually see the declassified document in which we're talking about. So you can read that. I have it transcribed down here below, so that way you can read it and do a quick search. Where I got it from, who got it, to give credit to where it's due, and then I'm also keeping track of every person, organization, and place and object that's mentioned in all these documents. Why? So that way we can click on it and come back to it later and see every single case that mentions Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So this database only has about, I guess, 20 cases on it right now, but it has so much interconnected data on it that you could use it and measure things in many different ways depending on what you're looking for. So I need people to help input this data because it takes a lot of steps just to put this document up here and to transcribe it and then to add all these tags and stuff. There's a lot of work. But, we're going to get her done now. The ultraspectrum classification system is here, finalized. So this is the system I use. So you'll need this when you're reading the cases to understand why those numbers are what they are. And it's all explained here. Also in investigations, I have investigation and research tools, which I'm starting to add as I investigate. And I think, okay, I'm using this. This might be useful for you. So like today, when I was working on cases, I was like, okay, well, I need to define these acronyms. So I found so there's a page here that I used that gave me the acronyms. So to make it easier for you investigators, I just put it here. I'm going to keep a running total of all the resources that I use because it might be beneficial for you. So if you're an investigator, you can use, the whole idea is for you to use this site to assist you in your investigations. And I'm basically showing my work in that sense too. To submit a report, which you can also go up top here, hit submit a report. And this is the new reporting system. So it's going to ask you, it's going to make it absolutely clear and certain to some people. The first question is, these cases are submitted to Blacklight. So all reports are submitted to Blacklight Investigative and Surveillance Services for investigation to ensure maximum protection of the data and the person reporting it. Do you wish to proceed? So if you don't know what Blacklight is, you can see that in the About Us or team, but just that is my private investigating company. It is me who investigates it, yes, but it's through the company. It's through a third party. So that is designed to do investigations and protect information. So that disclaimer is very important. If you click yes, it lets you into the portal. Then you have three choices. I am an experiencer and want to make a report. I'm an investigator or researcher and want to submit my work for review, or I'm a victim of a crime and I want to file a report. Whatever one you choose will open up the corresponding report system. So then you go through the system and then here you go. You fill out the information as need be, little tips and tricks and things like that. As you go through, a lot cleaner, a lot easier for you to select. So many things for you to do. And you will get a copy. We added a feature here where you're going to get a copy of it immediately and not have to wait for us to process it. So it might take us a little bit to get to your investigation, but at least you get that immediate gratification that we received it and it went through and you don't need to panic. And then we have a couple other questions like that, and then we give you some disclaimers. And then the assumption is that if you click submit, that it's okay for us to give that information. So you do not give information that you don't want, out there, and all these other things too. But we explain, as an example, when you're filling out these information, sometimes it's vulnerable information that you don't want to share. Understand that if we do consider it to be worthy of enough evidence to create one of these events, you'll be informed. You'll have to give us consent at that time. You'll have to let us know where the tags are so we can move them. We'll have to work with you to create recreate these events. But the details that we release for the investigation are minimal. So you're given an ID number, but the experiencer gets that ID number. We know who that experiencer is. The public don't need to know who that is. And the reason why we have that instilled in part of the system is because some experiencers, like this one, for example, have had multiple experiences. So as I get reports from different parts of their life and different times, yes, it's seen on the timeline. So sometimes it doesn't matter who it is, but if you want to know and see what's in common with the same experiencer, I have data here. So for number 10 here, so they have these beings, they have these orbs, and they see a UFO, and you compare all those cases together and do and do all these other things. So this information is out there to create awareness, to let you know and show you what we're doing with the work, to encourage people to make reports, and we're turning it into ways to, try to get the attention of others to report the same, so we can compare the data. Because eventually, when we get enough beings, or paracryptids, because we use that. So we go back here. Beings observed. We now start to have new categories. So many different types of beings, but then you see the similarities and characteristics, right? Especially with these shadow type creatures and these cloaks. So all these things that I've talked about, many podcasts, and now you can see exactly what I was talking about. These are cases from 2019. I still have 2020 to upload. I just want to kind of show this one here for a second, because I find it very fitting that the ID for this one is 11.
Why?
And then we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay. So
did you show folks the search tool, or are you just using the tags?
I'm just using the tags. So the search tool, if you want to type in UFO, you can type in UFO, and everything comes up that way. What else we got? Beings observed. I mean, the terminology is there, but once you get familiar with our system, you'll see everything there. So everything is searchable. I'm also putting these little markers on the timeline here. Little indicators. So there's American flag. So this is in America. Majority of these are in Canada, because that's where we're focused, but we do assist. But that little saucer lets you know that that's a aerial activity. These are beings observed. Down here, you'll see this little light. That's a UAP, so an orb or something like that. So you can kind of get a quick glance of what type of activity that we're seeing over the years. And as we input, experiencer data and declassified documents, we'll start to see them parallel to each other. And then we got aerial activity in the UK. And we're not doing every single case that comes in. This is the best of the best. These are the ones at the end of the year that we can't figure out.
Yes.
And then those are the only ones that will get added to this. After I weed out all the shit. But by shit, I mean not good enough evidence to do to do an investigation to this extent. It's all important, but as far as having a resource that's measurable, you want to have regulated data, and that's what I'm trying to display here. by following that pattern. If this doesn't catch on, it doesn't really matter in the sense, because this is how I do my work. I'm showing my work. It's like a portfolio for me. So as long as you continue to follow the website and see all these other things, you'll see the work that I do, what I'm doing with it, come to your own conclusions, become famous, and give me no credit. You can do all those things. But I watermarked everything. So you'll have to work really hard to get the original stuff yourself. Now this feature here, this is a private discussion group that we have built into the website. We're still working on the functionalities on the inside and how that would work, but we'll use that for EA, for invitation only. We'll use that for the academy, so I can teach people how to investigate or review their cases and things like that. We're going to have a really internal membership and inside the website too, which we'll start to explain. We haven't posted anything yet, so you guys are seeing this for the first time. It's fully functional. You can explore it. The news section, we got I have that all split up so that way we can get some of our articles here. So Reiki is in health, so I'm trying to set it up to be as legit as possible in terms of how news usually runs. I have a crime section, so false information. I think I deleted that article. Yeah. Declassified documents. Yeah, I haven't. A lot of these I haven't written in yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 3 articles here right now. So your book review, CC's there.
Okay.
So you go down to reviews. You go to books. All the book reviews will go there.
Cool.
If we go down to reviews, go down to reviews. We can put audio. We can put video. We can kind of link it all that way. So in science, we got cryptozoology, paranormalology, parapsychology, technology, ufology. So Alex, if you watch this on the replay, you want to write for us, you can write in cryptozoology. Research, I put in the Canadian Current Event Survey and Project Babel and the Ultra Spectrum Paranormal Report. So when I input the data sets to the new website, you'll see them there. Politics, if we get into politics, we can write into that, but it's there. I didn't want to ignore it. Entertainment, so beyond the tinfoil hat, we might just start writing articles after we do episodes or a batch of episodes and talk, to write about our favorite episodes or things like that. So we got Bridge to Cosmos, which is a new show, Citizen Paranormal Report, Uncharted Case Files, and then this world feature that just simply, right now we have American and Canadian influencers. So as we write articles and segregate them, they should appear in their categories. As I said, should, meaning I don't think I set the tag up, so I'll look at that. So it's functional, so you guys can make reports. It's functional, so you can get connected and do all these other things. We're still building a lot of the stuff on the inside, but for those of you on social media, you'll start to see the post soon. And yeah, become a member. That brings you right to YouTube. I think that's pretty well it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the shop and stuff still in the works too. So lots of work inputting data in the back end for sure to bring all the stuff from the previous website and new things onto this one.
Oh yeah, in an event page. So once we input events, you'll start to see that too. So use this website. Everything's going to be on the website. It's going to link to everything. Also, the people on the team, and it's going to bring you to your socials. So if you want to find, my social media is all there. Cece's is there, Serena's is there, and then as the team grows, we will add more. There's a few people on here that's not here that we will add at a later time, so that's pretty well it. That's the new one. So experiencersupport.org is the new handle. The old one can still work. I'll show you. Watch. Bring it up here.
Is there a phase out for that, or is it always going to be that way?
I'm going to keep it that way for a little bit, like a year or so, because we have a lot of marketing on the old one. So you type in the old website and it comes up. So if you remember the old website, it's still going to be there. And that's it. Nice, fancy, beautiful colors. And shout out to the development team that made this happen, because I'm sure they are overworked and very, frustrated with my my crazy
It was
mind.
a lot of the interconnection, I think.
Yeah, so there was definitely a learning curve for the development crew, because they just understand ghosts, they understand aliens, and they don't understand how it's all connected. But now they have a huge understanding, since they helped build the database that I work on the back end to input this data, and how I can look at it, protect the information, still see the information, be able to do the work, and protect the information. For those of you who are used to working with the MUFON CMS database, if you're a field investigator for MUFON, the inside of this is so much better and so much easier, and I can protect the information, and I can to allow me to give you only information that you need, and to protect the experiencers on like a higher level than any protection has ever been put in on this. So created for the experiencers by experiencers. The Experiencers Support Association, so experiencersupport.org. I gotta get used to saying that.
I know it's gonna be one of those tongue twisters for a little while. Lisa says, "Happy birthday, Ryan!"
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Before we say goodbye to everyone, maybe we could just give a good hello to everyone who joined in the chats today, because we really appreciate you coming in live and joining in on all the discussion and the games. It looked like there was some fun chat going on. I wasn't able to participate like I normally do. I'm going to say hello to Karen Holton. She says hello out there, likely because we were a little late going live today with some technical difficulties. But thank you for coming and being patient. Hello, everyone. Hello, Lisa Savoy.
Hello, Lisa.
Good to see you. Really appreciate you coming into the chat tonight.
Since Lisa's there, and I'm only doing this because I know Lisa is open. She's very comfortable with her experiences. So
yes, and she's coming on Beyond the Tinfoil Hat mid-June,
so,
June 23rd, I believe, to talk about her latest her book launch.
So let me just kind of let her know. Oh yeah, look at that. That was a good guess. So Lisa, I went back and I did the drawings for the 2019 ones, because we didn't have that opportunity before, because I came up with that idea for 2020. So this, as well as a few other of your cases, is on the website. So if there, as an experiencer, if there's anything on here that you don't want, let us know. But I've done my best to, like, with following the same rules that I put in place for all experiencers. I've done my best to protect that information. So let me know and explore. But we made these videos, so these are your videos now. And yeah, so cool. And I'm only saying that because she is comfortable and she's given me permission to use her stuff as examples. She's very open and things like that. And we haven't been in a situation where she needed us to stop. So she can vouch for that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm going to say hi to Space Cadet 8th G.
Hello, sir.
Thanks for coming in and partaking in the chat. It was like a lot of good chat going on, especially with the roast session was.
I hear you clicking. I want to show you something. You see at the top where it says live?
Yeah.
Click start.
Oh shoot! Thank you.
Yeah, because I see you're clicking through, and I noticed that you're like only selecting the starred ones. There you go.
Merci. Yeah. So, and then Priscilla, hello. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person very soon. UAP Studies Podcast.
Jason, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Yeah. Abitibi Sled Dogs. He says, how How do I get one of those to put on my team when he's referring to?
We were talking about the Dogman, and I commented and I said you would win every single race.
Yeah, exactly. It would be pretty insane to work with them, though. Jacqueline Dennis, one of our members, she popped in for a brief moment to say happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Yes, so we'll be in touch with Jacqueline soon.
Yeah, so she's in Ontario too, so maybe we can get her in on the expo.
Yeah, that's a good point. The guy in the car needs to turn his mic off, says Weltram Afe. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, well, the guy in the car, he's home now. He's safe. Sorry about that. Well, that was good. That was good. I guess he was in the middle of his day, and then he made time, so I appreciate that. Thanks, Alex. And thank you for setting this up. I really enjoyed my day to not have to worry about the pressure of the podcast. Not so easy reading a script, eh?
No, I started to fumble and then I lost it and I couldn't get it back. It was awful, but
you did good. You did good for your first time, especially behind the scenes. So, this is good. This was good.
Hi, Godly Moose. Thanks for joining us. Hell yeah, party time, he says. UFOs on the level.
And yes, John, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you had fun. It was a little, so many technical difficulties at the beginning, but we adapted, and I appreciate your help and the assist on.
Well, I appreciate the effort you put into making that entertaining for not just me, our guest, and our audience. So thank you for doing that.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think we're going to have to call it a night because I'm going to have to hit the road early in the morning to come down to the Butter Tart Festival. So.
You know where you're going? Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I'll send you a message. But I have a pretty good idea. I hope Michael knows too.
Yeah, he knows. He's been here. He knows.
That's what I figured. So I know where to get him, and then we'll go from there.
We got other comments here?
I don't know. Do we?
Have a good night, Lisa. Heed the world.
Yes.
All right. So I guess we'll play the closer.
Yes, we will. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks again for joining in. And do check out the new website, experiencersupport.org. Just bear in mind, we're going to have a bunch of new things going up over the next little while because we're catching up, right? So it'll just get better and better each day. Thanks again for joining us on Beyond the Tinfoil Hat for Ryan Stacey's birthday episode. I hope everyone has a great evening and heed the world.
Feed the world.
That's it, everybody. That is a wrap. That is the end of it all. Thank you for joining me tonight. I look forward to seeing you back next week, where we'll continue to have this conversation deep down into the rabbit hole in which we call the Ultra Spectrum. Thanks for joining us. I said that already. Oh well, fuck it. Feed the world.